If you have been following this channel for a while, you will have seen me riding my 2018 BOMBTRACK Beyond Plus ADV. This is a plus bike, until now. That's right, the BOMBTRACK is officially not a plus bike anymore. The BOMBTRACK has had a few changes, so let's take a look. First off, let's start with the wheels. This was something I had wanted to change ever since I got the bike. The front rim was a WTB I45, so with a 45mm internal rim width, meant I was pretty much only able to run 2.8-inch tyres and bigger. I never really liked this, as it meant if I needed to replace the tyre while out on the road, it was going to make it a lot harder to source that tyre. So I have replaced the front rim to a WTB Com Tough I35, with the I35 rim being a 35mm internal rim width, meaning that it is designed to fit a larger range of tyres from 2.6 inches up until 3 inches. So I can still run this as a plus bike if I want to in the future, all while giving me a bit more choice on tyre sizes. It's a good middle ground and should give me a better chance of sourcing replacement tyres while out on the road if worst comes to worst. I built this rim onto my old Shutter Precision Dynamo hub. The reason for choosing the WTB rim was mostly down to price. It's a relatively inexpensive rim at around £70. So if I manage to break it, it's a manageable cost to replace. The rear wheel was previously a WTB I40, so a 40mm internal rim width, slightly narrower than the front, so wasn't as much of an issue in regards to tyre choice, although anything under a 2.8-inch tyre wouldn't really be ideal. So I decided to change the entire wheel. The rim, the same as the front, the WTB I35 Com Tough, built onto a Hope Pro 4 hub in blue. Not really a colour I wanted, but it was all that was available with this build, and here is the freewheel sound check. Free hub sound check for you. So the tyres previously on this bike, I was running the Maxxis Chronicles in 29 by 3 inches. These were a solid plus tyre, but unfortunately Maxxis have discontinued these. This is why my BOMBTRACK is no longer a plus bike anymore, as these tyres have been changed for some Maxxis Icons in 29 by 2.6 inches, a fast rolling XC tyre. By changing to this smaller tyre, I have also saved quite a nice chunk of weight. The Maxxis Chronicle tyre that I was previously using weighed just over a kilo, while the Maxxis Icon in 2.6 weighs around the 800 grams mark. So there is around the 500 grams weight saving by doing this, which is quite nice. But for me, the real winner of this change is the mud clearance, especially on the rear. This bike is designed to accommodate 3-inch tyres, but on the original I40 rims, the tyre clearance on the rear was just not that great. So as you can see with the smaller tyre, there is a much nicer amount of clearance. Now, I don't really have an accurate way of measuring the tyre width. These tyres on the WTB I35 Com Tough are measuring actually slightly bigger than the 2.6 inches at just under 2.7 on these rims. When I first rode this bike in this setup, the difference was very noticeable. The bike felt a lot easier to chuck around and make little steering corrections. The bike felt more responsive in its steering, it felt quicker off the start line and to get up to speed. Overall, the bike feels a lot more lively and playful. The float feeling that you get with a 3-inch tyre over certain terrain is noticeably less, and you do need to make more corrections as you go. However, the steering does feel lighter and quicker. But riding this tyre through some wet mud, the tyre held its grip well. Being a bikepacking bike, this bike needs to ride nicely on the road too. And the Icon, compared to the Chronicle, does feel a bit more grippy in comparison, but actually is slightly faster and easier to hold a slightly higher speed, probably some part due to the weight difference between the two tyres, and that there is just less rubber touching the road. This is also true for riding this bike over gravel tracks. The initial difference between these two tyre sizes on the BOMBTRACK is that the Icon feels a bit more lively and a bit more responsive, and a bit more like a normal mountain bike feel. A bit more of a fun ride, while the 3-inch tyre on the BOMBTRACK makes you feel very secure in knowing exactly how the bike is going to handle. In a way, the BOMBTRACK with the 3-inch tyres feels very reassuring and predictable. Whereas with the 2.6 Icons, the bike feels a little less predictable, but certainly more playful. Going from a 3-inch tyre on a bike that was originally designed to be ridden with 3-inch tyres, I was a little concerned about how much this would affect the bottom bracket height of the bike, and it does change it very slightly, going from a 3-inch tyre to a 2.6, but only by a few millimeters at most. If you know the BOMBTRACK, then you will know that it has a pretty high bottom bracket height as standard. So overall, I don't feel that this will cause any issues, and it didn't on the initial ride of this setup. So there we have it, a little update on the BOMBTRACK Beyond Not Plus ADV, and my initial impressions on the bike now that it has lost its title as a plus bike. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, keep smiling and enjoy the adventure.